Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah. Call Haloyam La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakah Kodash for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwath that's keeping the faith and the work. Shall keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 3. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. All right. NLT, doing wrong leads to disgrace, and scandalous behavior brings contempt. All right. Let's go to the interlinear.
Strong's H 7036. Cologne.
Shame, disgrace, dishonor. All right. Disgrace of a nation, dishonor, disgrace personally. All right. I'm going to look up this word ignominy. All right. Salah, 1 second. Ignominy, deep personal humiliation, public disgrace, or shameful dishonor. All right. So when the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach, or disgrace, reproach. All right. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt. Contempt meaning a feeling of worthlessness. All right. Scripture also says, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Right. So disgrace, contempt, mourning, all of this comes when the wicked, began to run this earth. Right. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right. When that wicked individual came into power, everybody else became second-class citizens. Everybody else became worthless. Right. In the eyes of this devil. Right. And the Lord is changing that. The Lord has, given His people self-worth again by realizing who we are, right? And realizing who this devil really is, and understanding that this devil is really a base man, right? The Lord blessed us to understand that He placed this devil in power. It wasn't because he was stronger than, smarter than, more crafty. None of that was the cause. It was all because we became, or we got in bad standings with our Father, and we had to receive punishment, right? But let this devil tell it, we are worthless individuals. Any individual that's not in that top 1% really is worthless, but the Lord's people are at the bottom of the barrel, right? Which is all a lie. We are the Most High's chosen people, right? Set apart from every other nation, according to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? But once again, this devil being in power and creating his fantasy world of history and shoving that falsified history or that pseudo history down our throats, created what is now known as the nigger, right? Like it says in the Willie Lynch letter, in the making of a slave, take the mind, leave the body, and the Lord has given us our righteous mind back. So I'm gonna let a video play. I'll be back.
But they're not telling you how many. I have a history book from 1903 that just admitted to the start of whitewashing American history. Within this period, too, there has been a gradual but constant shifting of the point of view from which the history of a country is regarded, and of the methods employed in teaching it. Descriptions of battles and of movements of armies have come to be considered of less importance, and the social conditions and industries of the people of far greater importance than they formerly were. I'd like to point out this is 1903. There has been no World War yet. The battles that they're referring to that they don't think are as important to talk about is going to be against Native Americans and the Civil War. And they make it sound like they're just not telling you, like, all the details of the plans, but they're not telling you how many people they killed. They're not telling you how they killed these people. They're not telling you how brutal it was. They're just telling you there was a war. Oh, but it actually did forget about those wars. Your table of contents, and there's your Spanish, French, Dutch explorations, not wars. And then the Revolutionary War and all the things that added up to it for the rest. Yeah, this looks farther into it. It just explains how they all got it. And then they all claimed the territory and had conflicting claims. The conflicting claims became a source of constant strife and were decided finally by the sword. And that's all they had to say about that.
Right. So, telling how many battles that our people have fought, during the beginnings of Esau Edom's, rise to power. The beginnings of the daughter of Babylon, going over to West Africa and every other place where we were scattered to retrieve us. Telling how many wars were fought, how many battles preceded, initial contact with this devil. Right? We'll never know in this world, right? Because once again, let this devil tell it. We were just swinging in the trees and, crawling through the desert, half naked, living in huts, unable to speak, picking ticks out of our house. Let this devil tell it. Right? But we understand better than that. We know better than that because we know our history. We know who we are and we know where we come from. Right? But as far as this devil goes, Psalms chapter 58 and verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. In the NLT, these wicked people are born sinners. Even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. Right? These devils that have the spirit of Cain inside of them. Right? Am I my brother's keeper? Right? I don't know what happened to Abel. Have no idea. Right? That same spirit is in these individuals that are running this place today. Right? And that devil has been running from his judgment for so long, and time up. Right? Like scripture said, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, man. Time's up. And it's time to pay. Right? And the Lord won't hear us with interest. How scripture says double. Right? Reward her double as she rewarded you. Right? So that's what we're looking forward to, and we understand that's the main reason of things happening today. The recompense, the day of the Lord's judgment is near, and there's nowhere to run from. And the true history will be recorded, right? Like it says in the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah 16 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Right? That true history will be recorded, and the Lord will bless us with knowledge of all things of old, and things of old. And we're going to know all that, right? We're going to know everything that we need to know in the kingdom. I say that. How scripture says there'll be no more dark, no more night. It'll only be day. Meaning we won't lose our light. We won't lose our intellect. We won't lose knowledge again. This is the last time we face that. The last captivity. right? And the Lord is bringing us out with a mighty hand. And call Haloyim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Harakalkodas for blessing us to be able to see that and recognize that this is the Father's doing, and He's doing it for His name's sake and on our behalf. All right, so call Haloyim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Harakalkodas Shalom Yasha Allah Habab Abba.